Hey guys, as you probably already know, the Land Out of Time update has dropped today, so here's just a video of all my first impressions and thoughts on this entire update. I have spent quite a bit of time watching and reading about it. I also played quite a bit of time on the Land Out of Time, but again, I am not an expert at it just yet. There are a lot of unknowns about this, but I'm going to show you guys what I have learned and my first impressions of this amazing update. It really added so much to the game, and I think everyone will love it. If you guys haven't already checked out this update, you can do so by boarding the Stormbreaker, which is at the dig site. You do need the Desperate Times quest completed. There are also 2 prerequisite quests along with that, so you will need those done before you can actually jump in to this update. So the things that I will be showing you guys in this video is the brand new Big Game Hunter training method, the new agility course, new Slayer monsters. I'll also be showing you guys the base camp, which is actually really cool, and the weekly D&D Herby Werby. So anyway, to start off, when you first reach the island, you get this beautiful cutscene, and then you are here on the island, and it looks like you have a little bit of a mini quest. So you start by inspecting the footprints, and of course, it's a pretty big dinosaur. So then you'll just follow down the track and try and find that dinosaur. And after walking a ways down the path, another cutscene starts, and here is a huge dinosaur, which I am sure it is one of the Big Game Hunter dinosaurs. And really, when I first saw this, just look at all the graphics. The dinosaur looks great. They really put a lot of effort into the detail on this new island. It really looks amazing, and there's so many little spots that you can go, and it's really impressive so far from what I can tell. And looking at this dinosaur, I am pretty excited to actually start Big Game Hunter. It seems like a really cool, hunter method, and it's kind of like you're killing a skilling boss, which just makes it much more unique than any other training method in the game. So the next cutscene that you get is the cutscene for the base camp, and it actually looks really nice. So it's pretty much this camp just right in the middle of the island. It does have a lodestone that you can build, which is really nice. And then along with the lodestone, it has many different buildings that you will be able to build, and it will give you boosts throughout in the entirety of Gielinor, not just the island. So this update is pretty huge just for that fact. It will give you damage boosts and everything like that, which is pretty cool, and I will be going into detail in a little bit. And so the next step is going to be talking to Giles. Another cutscene will begin, and then you'll be faced with the customization or the build tab, which is actually really cool, and it was really neat to actually look at all the things that you can build. So now let's transition into the live clip of me going through all of these different things that you can build. This looks pretty cool. I'm liking it. So it looks like I have 10 workers. I can put 10 of them on whatever I want here. I'm not sure if this is offline, and if it is, that would be really great. There, I got all 10 going. So let's see. The lodestone we want. I'm going to just speed that up then. Let's just take that off. Get 120 per hour, so it'll be like an hour and a half, an hour 15 minutes till I can get that. There's pretty cool stuff here. So town hall. I'm pretty sure this is how you can get you can upgrade your other buildings. Let's just start from the bottom. So we got the lodestone, of course, bank chest, player lodge. So increases your chance of finding building resources on the island. Lodge restores health, prayer, and summoning points. That's pretty nice. Ability to modify house teletabs to teleport to the player lodge. That's pretty cool. Skill cape stand grants a passive skill cape perk effect the needing to wear. Now that is really cool. That will be really useful. And the cool thing about all this, these perks actually work all across RuneScape, not just on the island. So this is a big addition to the game. That is really cool. Now Slayer Lodge, 1% damage boost on the island, 3% damage boost on the island, and then a 6% damage boost on the island. Slayer Helmet Stand grants the bonus of Slayer Helmet across Gilnor without needing to wear it. That is really cool as well. So I'm thinking you could just have your boosts of your Slayer Helm and wear a different helm along with it. That would definitely help for Slayer a lot. Hunter Lodge, 10% chance of gathering additional resources. Big game creatures can now take an extra 2.4 seconds to catch you, so I will be going into Big Game Hunter later, so you'll see what that means. One type of frog is removed at the start of each big game encounter. Okay. Spa, Agility XP. So just an Agility XP boost. On the line Spa, pool effects last 50% longer. Okay. Sleeping quarters. So this just ups your workers. You can actually get up to 60, which is really nice. Storehouse, maximum resources. Okay. And the town hall just to upgrade them all. So that is pretty much your overview of the base camp. So the workers will deliver your resources every 10 minutes. Okay, that's pretty neat. So we're still just going through the tutorial here. We built the town hall, or now we will. And so now we're going to look at the agility part of the update. And so there is actually two brand new codexes, two brand new abilities, so Double Surge and Double Escape. And you can actually get these codexes by doing the agility course. So you get pages for going through the agility course. I got around 12 when I went, and 500 pages are needed to make one of these codexes. 750 if you want them to be tradable. And I'm pretty sure if you are one of the first people to actually get one of these codexes, you could probably sell it for a lot of money, like probably a few $100 million. So I'm sure there are people grinding to try and do that. I'm thinking it'll probably take around 8 to 10 hours to actually get the codex, maybe a little bit less. Anyway, the agility course actually spans the entire island, which is really cool. You need level 30 agility to go on the first section, and to go through the entire course you will need 85 agility. The XP is really great, so I haven't really done any proper testing, but I have been hearing that it's right around 150 to 220k XP per hour. So it kind of is a little bit better than Prif, although it is a lot more click intensive. You need to move the camera a lot, and sometimes it's really difficult to actually see the path. When I went through, it took me over 10 minutes. I think it can take you around 6 or 7 minutes, but it took me over 10 because I just really couldn't find the path. One of those times, like, it literally took me probably 2 or 3 minutes just to find the next obstacle. But as you get more familiar, of course, then that would not happen. So the agility course is also the quickest way to get around the island, so that is pretty neat. You can just hop on the agility course anywhere you want, really, and it will be the fastest way to actually get around. So that is pretty neat, and it kind of made it so agility is kind of useful. I like the way that they put the codexes in there. And you can constantly get these pages while you're doing the agility course. You have a random chance to get them while you're just randomly going over an obstacle, and then you also get like, I got 10 when I finished the entire course, so you should get a lump sum of them when you are done. And there we go, we have finished the agility course. So that did take quite a while, although I am very unfamiliar with it, as that was my first time going through it. As you can see, you get 10 codex pages for actually completing the course. I also got 2 while I was on the course. So that is pretty cool, and we are right back where we started. The start to the agility courses over there. You can actually go both ways, so that is pretty neat. And it might be worth actually getting these codex pages. You could sell it for a lot of money right now. So now the next thing that I really wanted to check out was Big Game Hunter. So I'm going to be hunting the Bagrata Rex, and there are 8 different dinosaurs that you can catch on this island. So the Bagrata Rex requires the manta ray bait to start, and you're going to want roughly 3 of these at least when you start the instance. So essentially what this is, you're going to be gathering your resources, so you're going to gather logs and vines. And with this you will want to make 3 crossbows and then the bait pressure plate. You also want to make some harpoons to load the crossbows. And then there are also these frogs on the ground that you want to tip or poison your harpoons with. And it is kind of difficult to tell what color the dinosaur is, but I guess the weakness of the dinosaur is the color. So if it's blue dinosaur, you will want to tip it with blue, and that will get you the most amount of damage per harpoon. Now, the levels that you will need to actually complete this are 75 to 96 Hunter, so there are different dinosaurs in between those levels that you can hunt. 75 being the lowest, and you will also require 55 to 76 Slayer. Now this is a really difficult method when you first begin. As you can see, I just failed right there, and the dinosaur scared me off because I stayed in its radar too long, and the dinosaur is a lot faster than you, or quite a bit faster than you, so you will kind of need to watch out for this and kind of be more cautious and careful so that the dinosaur doesn't actually catch you or scare you away. And Surge, and I'm assuming Double Surge as well as Blady Dive, will be really important abilities for this minigame. So my first impressions of this Hunter minigame is that it is pretty fun and it doesn't really take too long to get the hang of. We are going to place the bait and get our first attack. All 3 crossbows are armed, loaded, we're ready to go. And it was. There is our first kill at Big Game Hunter. So the XP drop. And there we have it. Our first kill. So now you actually get to loot this like a boss, which is why I said it is like a skilling boss earlier. And you do get some pretty good loot from this, especially right now. So let's just price check this. If you did see, I got a 13k XP drop, and that was combined between Hunter and Slayer. So the XP for Big Game Hunter is pretty low on day 1. So I wouldn't be surprised if they buff it, because it is going to be some pretty dead content if the XP is that low. Anyway, here is the loot that we got. So just over 100k, and that is just the Grand Exchange price. I actually sold those 2 pieces of meat for 100k each. So, you know, that is about 300k for that loot. I didn't sell any of the other stuff, but I'm sure it is a lot higher than what the Grand Exchange actually does say. So the next piece of content that I wanted to try was a few of the Slayer creatures, and I found that every one of them has their own unique special attack, and it was a little bit difficult to actually discover how to dodge those. A few of them I didn't. So this one right here, so the feral dinosaur, I found that it did that really rage attack right there. I just backed off and it seemed to stop, so that was a pretty massive attack. As for the drops that I got from this dinosaur, I only killed 2, but I will be doing a larger sample size later in the week. I'm hoping to do loot videos on many of the Slayer creatures, all the ones that I can do with 106 Slayer, because I'm not going to be able to do them all. There are 8 brand new Slayer creatures, and they span level 90 to 114 Slayer, so I'll be doing loot videos on as many of them as I can. I'm thinking I'll probably do 500 of each, but I'm not really sure on that just yet. Anyway, the drop that I got from this one wasn't too great. I did hear that most of these creatures, they're not great GP per hour, like around 3 mil, but I haven't heard of any unique or rare drops yet, so I'm sure that some of them do have them, so it will be interesting to see in my later loot videos. So the next dinosaur that I decided to try out was the venomous dinosaur. So this one was pretty easy to kill, although its special ability did poison you. I didn't have an anti-poison to try, but I'm pretty sure that it would just counter its ability, and if so, it would be pretty simple to stop or dodge. As for the drops, they all drop dinosaur bones, so that is pretty good. I'm not sure what they sell for right now, and I do think that's a pretty good price for them. I think the XP for dinosaur bones is only 170 XP, so I wouldn't expect them to go up too much more. And moving on to the third Slayer creature that I decided to kill, and that was the Devil's Snare. This one I found is actually the easiest, especially with ranged. I believe its special ability is only if you are right next to it, so I found this extremely easy to kill. It did have a pretty hard hit, over 1,000 melee damage on a few of its hits, but other than that, it was pretty simple. And as for the two drops that I got, it was right around 20k for each of the two drops. I know it is a extremely small sample size, but it does just give you guys a little bit of an idea. These creatures I found were definitely the easiest out of the three that I killed, and I probably will be looking at making a loot video on these really soon. And this brand new island brings a brand new Slayer Master as well, and she's for players with 90 Slayer and 120 plus combat. And another pretty exciting addition is new task types. So these give you more freedom with your Slayer tasks. So for example, you might be asked to fight dragons and just general dragons, so you actually get to pick what kind of dragon you are going to fight. So that is a nice little addition as well, and I think that is across all Slayer Masters. And so the last thing that I decided to check out was the brand new minigame. It is a weekly D&D Herby Werby, and it is actually pretty great. I got a lot of Herblore XP for doing this minigame, and there are some decent rewards in the shop. Just a quick little overview of how this minigame works. You are going to have all these Zygomites running around carrying either green leaves or corrupt leaves, and pretty much you will want to click on the ones with the green leaves. So as you can see, this green little mess pops up on their head, and just click on that. If it's purple, don't click on it, and that is pretty much it for the minigame. Alternatively, if you want a bit of fire making XP along with it, you can just go pick up some of the purple or corrupted leaves yourself, and then you can go burn it on the fire, and you'll get a little bit of XP for this as well. Although if you strictly want Herblore XP and the most Herblore XP you can get, you will want to just click on the little guys with the green mess on their face. And now looking at the shop rewards that you get from this minigame. So there is a Herblore lamp, there is a pet, a herb bag, which is pretty neat. I'm assuming that it is pretty simple and just carries some herbs. And then there is a totem. I'm not exactly sure what the effect of the totem is, but I'm sure it is pretty decent. And there are actually 7 different totems you can get. This is one of them. And you can actually have 3 of them active. I'm sure the benefits are pretty great, so it will be pretty exciting to see what all these totems actually do. Essentially, that is pretty much everything that came along with this update. Of course, there are a few other little specific things that I may have missed, but I will be going further in depth in the next coming days. I'm hoping to make some loot videos, some big game hunter guides, and maybe a few others as well. So definitely subscribe if you guys are looking forward to videos like those. As for my first impressions, I just wanted to give an overview before I ended the video. I do think that this update did bring along a bunch of brand new fresh content, which is really exciting. As for the XP rates, I am a little bit disappointed with the Big Game Hunter. It is surprisingly low. I'm not even sure if you can get 100k XP per hour doing this. The GP is pretty good, but I'm sure the prices will kind of settle down soon, so I don't think they will be as good, in the future. And it is kind of disappointing because I could see this as dead content unless they do buff it. The Slayer creatures, I can't really say too much about. I know there isn't really a whole bunch of hype with them as for the GP per hour. I think it is pretty stable, but I do not think it is going to be dead content. I think there's going to be some rare drops that you can get in there, so that will be pretty exciting to see. There is the agility course. That I think is amazing. That's probably going to be the main method for training agility. And simply because you can make the codex out of it. Like, you're actually getting something out of agility now. So to me, that really makes the skill much more enjoyable and really boosts it. One last thing I would like to say is that right now we don't have all the information. I know I'm missing out on a lot of things. Like, I'm sure there are a bunch of unique drops, possibly from Big Game Hunter. I know there's brand new tier 75 ranged armor set that I don't know how to make yet. I'm assuming it's from Big Game Hunter. So, there probably is some pretty good drops you can get from that are worth quite a bit, and the same for Slayer. So it will be pretty exciting to see in the next few days what everyone discovers and the more we learn about this update. But overall, my first impressions of this update is that it is truly enjoyable, and any fresh content added to RuneScape 3 I just love. So it's going to be exciting just trying out all this content in this next coming weeks. So I'm really looking forward to that, and you guys probably are as well. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.